Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your brother Marcus here, and today we are going to be discussing on our channel how to live through the coming tribulation. Yes, my friends, a very interesting topic indeed today. So let's get right into it. So I want us to set our minds, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more of this content. If you like this content, I know you like this content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I love hearing from you guys, okay? Now, the tribulation has begun. Let's just, for the sake of this video, we are putting our minds in a situation where the tribulation has begun. And it is not far off. It is not far off. Alright? The tribulation has begun, and let's see how, right, we are going to get through the tribulation. Brothers and sisters, the movement we long studied and preached about has arrived. The Sunday law, long foretold by prophecy, is no longer a theory. It has been implemented as outlined in the global and national agendas such as Project 2025. Under the guise of national unity and morality, worship on the first day of the week has become law. And those of us who choose to obey God rather than man, who keep the 7-day Sabbath, are now labeled as enemies of the states, as heretics. Revelation 13 verse 15 tells us he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many that would not worship the image of the beast, that they should be killed. Alright, and we go on, verse 17, and we move on to verse 16. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. That is to what you do and what you think, what truth you are settling into. And finally, we say that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So my friends, we are seeing here. So my friends, we are seeing where the stage is now set and the mark of the beast is being ruled out. Right? And now we have to take guidance. Right? So we are not living in. Just place your mind in this situation that we are not. This is not a future situation. This is a now situation. And quite frankly, it is actually a now situation. Because when you look at what is going on around us in the US and so on, Trump is gung ho about implementing this. He just, my last video was dealing with the CBDC and all of that. The CBDC, central bank digital currencies, is just another tool to force you to worship when they want you to worship. Right? We are now entering what I might call a time of trouble, described in the Zav Ages, page 121. These seasons of distress and anguish before us will require faith that endure. These sessions, the season of distress and anguish before us, will require a faith that can endure weariness, delay, and hunger. A faith that will not faint though severely tired. Alright, so this is where we are at now, my friends. All systems have collapsed. Economies are failing. The society is breaking down. Sabbath keepers are being hunted, detained, or forced to comply. This is the final test, my friends. Daniel 12 and verse 1 states, at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. There shall be a time of trouble, such as never was seen since there was a nation. Yet in the dark hour we are not without guidance. Right? God has called us to leave the cities. Yes, my friends. We were warned long ago to leave cities. Many ignore the counsel. But now, as persecution rise, we understand the urgency of that instruction. Ellen White writes in Country Living, page 10, get out of the cities as soon as possible. Purchase land. Right? Purchase a little piece of land where you can have a garden, where your children can watch the flowers growing and learn from them lessons of simplicity and purity. Right? Friends, cities have become dangerous places. Control is tight, surveillance is everywhere, and loyalty to God is threatened. And loyalty to God is treated as rebellion. Right? Isaiah 26:20 states, "Come, my people, enter into the chambers and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpast." So, God is telling us plainly we have to hide up ourselves and protect ourselves in that dreaded day. Right? In the country, we can still breathe, still pray, still live. We may have to survive off grid. No phones, no communications, no internet. Back to basics, my friends. And most importantly, faith. Right? We must have faith. Some ask, how will we survive? Survival isn't just about skill. It's about total dependence on Jesus. But we must also be practical. We must also prepare practically. Grow our own food. We have to save seeds, collect water, learn basic herbal medicine, keep tools, have our clothes, store up stuff, right? The time of convenience is over. So again, we have to go back to basics. You may not have lights, right? In the thumbnail, you see solar panels. You could probably invest in some solar panels too, so you could turn on a light in the night and so on, right? Ellen White, in the Great Controversy, page 629, in the time of trouble, none will labor with zeal and succeed to gather in souls unless they have been duly trained in spiritual things and in practical labor. So it goes hand in hand. And again, she counsels, the more nearly we come into harmony with God's original plan, the more favorable will be our position to secure health of body, mind, and soul. Ministry of Healing, page 365. We must simplify, reduce dependency on Babylon, and trust in Almighty God. It's all about total dependence on Jesus, my friends. But most importantly, we must trust Christ completely. When the government blocks our bank account, and they will do it because by then they will have the implemented fully digital money, and once money is digitized, they can implement the mark of the beast very easily. When our names are on watch lists, when our neighbors betray us, when our food is scarce, remember the promise of Isaiah 33:16. We shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be our minions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His water shall be sure. Right? So that is the word of the Lord. So my friends, our bread and water is sure. At that time, our bread and water is sure. I'm confident about that. 110% confident that our bread and our water will be sure. Right? Jesus will never forsake his faithful people. Ellen White assures us in the Great Controversy, page 629. Right? While the wicked are dying from hunger and pestilence, angels will shield the righteous and supply their wants. Right? What a God we serve. Psalm 91. Let's go now to Psalm 91. Alright, let's go quickly to Psalm 91. 1,000 shall fall on thy side, and 10,000 on thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. That is Psalm 91, verse 7. We go on to verse 8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And the final verse here, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, my habitation. Right? So we are seeing whereby God is going to protect us. God is going to take care of us. Right? Almighty God to defend his people. Victory is certain. Let me tell you, beloved, we are made for this hour. I always stress on the fact that we always go camping. And sometimes when we go to camp, they will take us through the experience of the Waldensians and the Albigensians, right? And show us how they survived persecution by farming the land and living high up in the Alps, away from the cities, those things are examples to us, right? So we have to start to prepare now to go into country living, to live away from society, away from built up cities, right? So that when this time comes, they will be fighting to put mark of the beast on everybody and force people to worship in these cities while we be worshiping God in spirit and in truth. In the countryside, in the mountain top, in the cleft of the rock, somewhere away from the eye of Satan, and will be shielded by Jesus' angels keeping guard over us. Right? We were made for this hour. We are not to be afraid, but faithful. Right? Let's go now quickly now to Revelation 14:12. Revelation 14:12 says, here is the patience of the saints, and here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Right, my friends? So we have to have the faith of Jesus. Right? House set up. And if you probably join up with couple brethren, faithful brethren that are like-minded as you are, because in that setting, the more people you have, the better. Because in a camp setting, when we go to camp, we delegate responsibilities, right? Everything is not done by one person, right? So when we delegate responsibilities, the task that has to be done for everybody to survive, it is a little bit easier. All right. So this is the word. So this is the word for this evening, my friends. I hope we take heed. I hope we put things in place so that we may be prepared for. I hope we put things in place so that we may be better prepared to live through the tribulation. And while I'm saying living through the tribulation, some people believe you'll be raptured. No, my